Let's go live. Good morning, welcome to Morning Outlook. This is Kim speaking on Thursday the 23rd of February. So the month's flashing past. Let's have a look at what's in store today from a potential impact point of view, or risk impact. We've got we've had a Japanese bank holiday there running through. We've got the US prelim GDP. Now this is the second reading of the GDP. They don't have the same impact as the initial one. Aside of that, then unemployment claims. Quite a reasonably quiet day there in that respect. I'm just going to check on speakers. We do have a few speakers out. We've got Bank of England Man this morning. Or Mans, I should say. ECB speakers at 3 o'clock, but not and a Fed speaker at 7 o'clock. So not a great deal. We've saw the Fed minutes coming out last night, and basically there's probably a little bit more hawkishness than was expected. There was quite a few participants who had been voting towards or looking to put 0.5% instead of 0.25%. So, and there's sort of still the discussion about the continued tight job market, etc., which is putting upward pressure on inflation. There was also some talk about going into recession, so a bit mixed in that respect. But that was pretty much a little bit more hawkishness, I think, overall. Anyway, the tighter stance still sort of progressing. Let's have a look at the technicals then on a quietish day then in terms of outlook, with the euro dollar starting with. It continued to sell off. Yesterday sold off a bit more convincingly, I guess, than some of the previous days. It's a bit more trend continuing. We're down to the weekly S1 where it's bounced at the moment, but maybe heading back to test it again. Looking from a shorter time frame, yesterday just run into its pivots there, run off to the S1, and then eventually S2 with the later data coming out. See what I did there? Bit of a poem. Let's move on and open the pound. So looking soft then. So the pound dollar. Similar-ish move. It came off yesterday. I was looking to see if we got a break of this trend. As you can see, nothing to happen there. Now it's sort of sitting in this sort of wedgie pattern. We've on the 4-hour Liz here, just there. A break below that might just sort of signify further downside. It's not looking the best by any means, and you can see that the more it sort of sits on handrails that trend line there, the potential better chance it has of rolling. It's in a bit of a squeeze at the moment between its weekly pivot, its daily pivot, and obviously that trend line sitting just underneath. Not very tidy, that trend line, but you can see it's there. We go. It is now. It's got the potential to roll over there as well. So we'll see how things develop post 8 o'clock. Dollar yen. Funny old day yesterday, but that's it's got this upward sort of trend sitting through things. It's a bit mixed really. I noticed the 4-hour divergence sitting between the highs there, but then had a bullish wedge which it pipped out of and then rolled completely the opposite way. So it's a fake out really there, sitting there first thing, rolled back right the way back over, now sort of sitting in the same sort of range. Makes it difficult to work out what's going on here now. So back into chop zone it often happens when we see the dollar becoming a bit of a safety currency. The yen joins it. Okay, looking at the Aussie dollar, and well, from a daily point of view, we're still sitting there, lower highs in here. So this looks at the weakest. It's catching a bit of a bounce at the moment, but is that another chance to look at selling into it again, it sort of looks pretty good coming back to that weekly. Actually, it just sort of looks so nice how it ran over and rolled over this week, looking soft, but well, it's near enough into its R1. A break of its daily pivot there would suggest a continuation. There's the possible entry there for the Aussie dollar, so if it does sell off post 8 o'clock, that's what I'd be looking for. Okay, don't really want to be going against the trend at the moment. Aussie US dollar CAD. So US dollar CAD, we've seen a move out. I said yesterday, it's pretty difficult to read where this is going a lot of the time. Again, today we're on a bit of a sell point, but you can just see the chop that's sitting on this 4 hourly. Really not giving us too much clue yesterday. Quite ugly. Looked like it was going to push or continue to the upside there. Rolled completely. And push back up again later at 7. It was always going to be a bit risky with that news coming out, but yeah, not particularly great there. The other usual suspects is that there's the euro yen on the shorter time frame. This in the intermediate here starting to look a little bit more bearish. It's flagging on the hourlies here, got this bear flag. We could see a continuation. It's still got this sort of major significant pivot line. Effectively, it's where the price is pivoting either side of it. It's giving bounces, giving resistance. We'll see how it shapes up, but that could well be tested today. We haven't yet hit the daily pivot. It would be nicer if it hit the daily pivot. I'd have been looking straight in there, but we'll see how things progress. It may be later this morning as it's shaping up at the moment. Right, I was looking at everything yen yesterday. It seemed there was a lot of potential breakdowns, and it did better on. Sorry, I was looking alongside. Actually, there was a lot of potential longs yesterday. Was waiting to see if it pushed up. Actually, no, on the pound yen, it was the breakdown I was looking for, but it spent most of the day consolidating there. Anyway, not a lot else there. Quick look across the indices and let's look at gold first. So gold is trickling down there. Stronger dollar. Generally, we see a weaker gold price, and there's probably opportunities to look on the shorter side. But look how ugly and choppy it is on the hourly. So sometimes best avoided. Best avoid all these markets sometimes, it feels. Lower highs, high lows. It's a wedgie old pattern on oil at the moment on the dailies. Did get a continuation yesterday and sold off some more. Bit of a bounce at the moment. We're seeing this sort of little bounce through a lot of markets at the moment. It could be just a bear flag in the bigger scheme of things. There we go. Look at the hourlies here. Would be nice if it ran into its pivot first, and then we'll look at that this afternoon. But erring on the bearish side still with oil. Equity markets, the CSI 300. Let's just come to the dailies then. There we go. It's still struggling here. Just not catching the bid side of things. The overall unsettled nature of the world politics at the moment certainly not helping this. The Nikkei sold off, big sell-off there through the Asian session there. It's really looking quite like we got more downside coming on that. Mentioned it yesterday. Nifty 50 was looking bearish yesterday and remained bearish and is selling off or sold off partially again today. So equity markets in general not looking great. They're catching some bids at the moment. The S&P's here worked its way back to its monthly pivot then yesterday, and well, it's dancing around that. That's a good point. If it's going to press up, I would expect it from support like this with a 50 MA underneath, just giving further support. But the bigger picture, lower time frames really showing this sort of lower highs, lower lows running through there. So below the surface, it does look still pretty weak. The Dow Jones continuing really yesterday and still looking soft. Very tight day waiting for those minutes, but never really reacted later on to the minutes either. Nasdaq the same there, just catching a bit of a bounce off its 34 at the moment. Daily 34 just giving support there. Okay, coming close to home then, DAX continues in this horrible chop zone. You see on the 4 hours backward and forward. Well, this surely should be down again now. It's has put higher lows in though, so step very carefully on this. It's just a real ugly market, but it is hanging in up there. Just I said that about the pound yesterday, although it's corrected itself. Maybe it's got a little bit more correction to do. It has put lower highs in. It does look a bit on the softer side there. We could see further downside, certainly starting the day on the downside there. It's below its daily pivot, running down. Yesterday's lows, yes, one could well be targeted if it continues in that way. Right, that's pretty much it today. I wish you a great day's trading. I'll catch you in the morning. Bye for now. Morning guys, morning Ian, Michael, sorry. Take care guys. Here we go, job done there.